Go for it.
There's no such thing as a wrinkle.
Put the beauty filter on.
Put the weight and the wrinkle thing on.
Okay. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Hannah, when we get to you, I want you to introduce yourself and then do class and position. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Traci Smith. I'm the head softball coach here at RSC University.
Hey, I'm Hannah. I'm a senior. My major is biology, and I'm captain of the softball team, and I'm also a pitcher.
So, ladies, this is going to be your 2025 River States Conference Media Day for softball. So we're just going to kind of talk, ask a few questions, do whatever for this season preview. So, Traci, I kind of want you to give a little bit of your background and how long you've been here and how long you've been coaching.
I've been at Brescia. This is my 19th year. I'm sorry. I'm very old. I'm not old. I have worked with young people, college-age people, high school, different ages. I've coached for about 45 years, if not longer. In this community, I've ran a lot of basketball, softball, baseball teams, leagues. I've been on boards. I have a lot of experience. That's because I'm older. But I have a lot of experience coaching and playing, and I grew up in this town, so I've been here my entire life. And then been, like I said, been at Brescia for 19 years. And that'll probably be my last stop eventually, somewhere down the road.
I think you said that the last 3 years.
I think I have. Yeah.
So just kind of going off the top of your head, what are your expectations for the season? Traci, I'll let you answer first, and then Hannah. Okay.
Well, everybody that knows me knows I always have high expectations. You know, even though our record doesn't show it the last few years, I always expect my teams to win. We work out and practice to win. We're just limited sometimes on our practice because of facilities and because of the weather and so forth, just like everybody else. But this year, I'm extremely excited. I can't really say I'm more excited this year than I've ever been because I've had some really good teams. But this year's team is a team full of, we're going to have a roster of 18, and all 18 are interchangeable players. And what I mean by that is, I've got a shortstop that can play any other position. I've got a first baseman that can play any other position. I've got a catcher that can play another position. I've got outfielders that can play anywhere. You don't get that very often on a team, and that's a plus right off the bat. Our pitching, I'm looking for my pitchers to hold their own. We've got good pitchers. We've added a couple more. So we've got good pitching depth that the arms hold up. Just, you know, with fast pitch softball, you're always hoping your arms and everything hold up. Batting, this is the best batting team, consistently hitting batting team I've had in the last 2 or 3 years. That's what's been our crutch the last 2 or 3 years is consistent hitting. Yeah. And we, you know, this team, my favorite thing about this team is the personalities. Anybody that's coaching now or has been coaching in the last so many years, with girls in particular sometimes, or women, it's all about how they get along and how they act around each other and how they support each other. You can have 20 studs on a team, but if they don't get along, you're not going to win. Well, we have that times 100 this year. We got really good student athletes. They're really good in the classroom, most of them, and they all get along. Right now, they all support each other, and they're excited to get to our first game. That right there makes a coach smile and be ready even more than having somebody hits 500 at times. So we're looking at this year. We want to win, and we're going to win one game at a time, and we're going to do it by doing softball 101, going by the fundamentals. You know, they had a little different year last year because I was in and out with my husband and a health issue I had. I'm back, they're back, we're all back, and we're going to hit it head on and see what happens. So,
Hannah, being that you are a senior and this is going to be your last year, you're the only senior, right? So the only one.
Yeah.
Just judging off of, you know, you being a veteran, what are your expectations of this season?
I definitely think there are some high hopes for this season, especially going into like the conference tournament and everything, because we put the work in over off season. We had somebody get us an app, and we did workouts 3 days a week. And those 2 days a week, we would do sprints, conditioning. So I think we have come back a lot stronger. And like Coach was talking about, the mental stuff. We, from the get-go, we just all kind of bonded instantly. There's not really anybody on the team that's very drama-filled, so we're going to stay away from that because that has been some issues in the past. But overall, like Coach said, the personalities are there. We have great team bonding and the physical aspects of it too. Everybody can play other positions. There's nobody that's really set in stone one position, and I just think it's going to come together this year.
That's good to hear. It's always a good thing. Mm-hmm. So what have you guys I know you kind of mentioned a little bit, kind of touched on what you guys have been prepping, like what you guys have been doing to prep for the season. Coach, you talked about how you're focusing more so on fundamentals. Can you go into a little bit of detail as far as fundamentals and what you guys are doing to prep for the season?
As my teams can tell you, it seems like the last year or so we've gotten away from fundamentals. And I'll say we make goober errors, not errors. We call them goober because when we commit a goober error, they score 4 or 5 runs on us. You know what I mean? Usually an error you might lose 1 run, maybe 2 at the max. But it all comes down to knowing how to play softball, fast pitch softball 101. And unfortunately, a lot of us forget those fundamentals sometimes as we get older. So we are really focusing this year, even though I do it every year, knowing where to throw it, when to throw it, how to cover your bag, how to go after a ball over your head, how to hit your cutoffs.
Basically, how to play softball.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're just,
play softball.
I tell them all the time, I say, I know you guys don't like to hear it, go over it, fundamentals, but I think that's a lost part of all sports.
I agree with you.
We have to have fundamentals. If you don't understand the fundamentals of any sport, you're not going to be successful. Right. You've got to go back to your, what do you call it? Your, what you originally learned.
The basics.
Basics. And if you know the basics, and if you know every position on that field, that makes you that much better. Whether you're an outfielder, I want you to understand what the infielder does, what the pitcher does, what the catcher does. Because the more you know, the better you are. And that's what we've been focusing on. And they'll tell you it drives them nuts at times, but it's fundamental 101 softball. We're going to know that, right? We're going to try to eliminate the goober errors.
No goober.
I tell them all the time that the pros make errors. Everybody's going to make errors. That's a given. But we got to close those goober errors.
The goober errors.
Yeah, that's what Coach, I have my own language anyway, but the goober errors, yeah. So.
And I think the last question I have for you guys, well, actually there might be a few. Hannah, I want you to just kind of think about how you started the season last year, just individually, as being a starting pitcher. You kind of you struggled a little bit at the beginning of the season, but you closed out strong. What do you think is going to be different for you personally as the only senior and a pitcher that you're doing differently from last year to this year?
I definitely think my confidence has increased a lot. That was really what I struggled with at the beginning because I'm so hard on myself. I would make just one small error in my mechanics and then try to fix it, and then it would be just too much going on in my brain. And that was really the main issue. But there was one day I sat down and talked with Coach, and she was like, you should have confidence, be a little cocky, but not the overly cocky. So I definitely think that confidence has increased. And I want to shout out a freshman real quick, Addie Harris. She has helped me tremendously with my pitching because oh my gosh, she is amazing. She'll tweak little bitty things and then I'll just fix it on the spot. Like my changeup. Everybody knows my changeup's a little iffy, but she did some work on me and it's fixed. And she's a phenom, actually. Yes, she's amazing.
I'd like to add to that too with, I told them yesterday, was it yesterday at practice or the day before, and most coaches can understand this statement is they're going to listen to each other a lot quicker than they will us, especially me being older. It's us older people, we just don't know anything. That's okay. It's just the way it is in 2024, and as a coach, you have to adapt or get out because I told them the other day when we were talking about we had a pitcher that needs some help, and I said, y'all got to talk to her. She'll listen to you better than me. And she will. That's not a slap on me. That's not personal to me. It's reality. And boy, she's really listening. And like she said, Harris is a phenom. She can stand there, and I can do it too. You can do it. My other coaches can do it. But when the peers do it, it's like, oh, okay. Coach said it, but my peers said it, so let's do it. Am I wrong? So it's just, like she said, yeah, it's all about confidence and all about adjusting and fixing those little quirks.
All right, so the last question I have for you, Traci, is over your 19 years of being here and playing in this conference, who are you looking more to compete with? How do you feel about the conference? Maybe that wasn't the right question.
Yeah, we'll be nice. No, I'm kidding.
But what are you? How are you looking to compete in this conference this season?
Well, oh shoot!
Didn't that happen last year too?
I'm keeping that in there.
Hold up, I got all time. Sorry about that.
Happens every time.
It's because I forget to turn it off. Last year, it's funny that you asked me that, because last year, even though they had to deal with some adversity with me and sickness and my husband and stuff, I stood there last year and watched these conference teams, and I thought, we're going to get this year. Because the conference as a whole, there is no clear-cut winner this last year like there has been in the past. As far as we always had one or two teams or three at the top. We used to be at the top, but there's a lot of things that have changed over the years. You really have to be in our conference and coach or understand the differences between the universities and colleges. But I look at these teams now, and as I did years ago, that we can beat any one of them anytime. We've proven it over the years, being in some games, and we'll have like a 1-0 ball game, and then we go up 1 or 2-1, and then all of a sudden they run rule us. See?
That happens pretty often.
So, exactly. And I would tell people we really didn't get run ruled, even though the score said run ruled, if that makes sense. The prime example is we play Kentucky Wesleyan right up the street. They're D2. And one time we'll run rule them, one time they'll run rule us. It's just, and I think more than anything, even though they're D2 and on average they should be better than us, it's just a fun game. And the girls let up. They don't let up, but everybody has fun. But in this conference, I think now from here on out, anybody can win this conference, because I really believe that. We've got a bunch of new coaches this year in particular in the conference, and that's going to set a precedent somewhat good, bad, or indifferent. Coaches like me are dinosaurs, and we're dying out. But the thing is, I didn't see one team this year that I thought we shouldn't have beat. If we'd have hit, I did some statistics, if we'd have hit 382, I'm a statistic person, if we'd have hit, or even if we'd have hit 300, we would have won 500% of our games, even though our ERA was kind of high, even with that. So it's like, I know it's high, but what was the number? Anyway, everything could have gone one way or the other this last year. Like I said, they had some adversity. We had some things, going in and out. We had some drama, and drama will tear you inside out. One of my pet peeves, but it is what it is, and we're working on that. And this year, I think we're gonna hit every team the same way. You look at IUS, you think, oh, okay, got to get IUS because they're tough. They are. They've always been good. Rio Grande, same thing. St. Mary's of the Woods. I don't have that feeling this year. And I don't know if I'm getting old and just getting laid back and just, because I'm a feisty person that wants to win 100%. But I look at this year, when do we play IUS? When do we play Rio? When do we play them? Bring it on, and let's see what we got. Because we're playing some tough teams in February, some tough NAIA teams. Bring it on. Let's just see what happens. I'd play today if we could. I'm so excited to see what we got. It's too cold.
It's too cold. You will not catch me out there in the press box right now in this weather. Absolutely not.
We've got to dip. This year, the mindset is just awesome. If it backfires on it, it's on us. And they'll tell you, I have this attitude every year we're going to win because I think we're going to win every year because I trust my teams, but it just hasn't worked. We're working on. I'm going back to old school a lot of ways this year because what else? What else am I going to, I don't, everybody does the same things every year. Our practices last year were stale at times. That's huge to a athlete. I get it. I was an athlete, a college athlete myself. Practices were stale. This year, practices are, it's different, isn't it? People want to be there. They want to practice. We're trying, unfortunately, at our level, a lot of times they only have me there. It's hard as one coach because my other coach that's been with me so long works full time. So on a different job, but we make it work and we're going to make it work and see what happens, right? So I kind of hope people kind of let up on us this year. Take this for granted. Let's just play.
All right. Ladies, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Home cats.
What?
Home cats.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Home cats!